Greetings and welcome to the Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association's Patients Come First podcast series. Podcast episodes are available on VHHA.com and on popular podcast hosting apps including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and many others. Episodes of the podcast also air each Saturday at noon and Sunday at 10 a.m. on 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and 8:20 a.m. across Central Virginia. Please send any questions, comments, or feedback to pcfpodcast@vhha.com. Again, that's pcfpodcast@vhha.com. And since 2021 is an election year in Virginia, we're doing a special podcast spinoff series. We've invited every declared statewide candidate for the offices of governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general to participate and speak with healthcare voters about their campaign and ideas. Today, we're pleased to be joined by Chuck Smith, who is a Republican candidate for attorney general. Chuck is both a Marine Corps and U.S. Navy veteran. He is an attorney. He is a husband and a father. And so with that brief introduction, welcome to the program, sir.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Julian. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and to all of your listeners, it's a joy to be here.
So I just gave a brief bio overview of who you are, Chuck, but I'm sure that just scratches the surface. So I want to give you an opportunity to speak more about your qualifications and also to make your pitch about why you consider yourself the best candidate among the contenders for the Republican nomination for Attorney General.
Thank you so much, Julian. I'm the guy that wants to bring the Constitution back, stop the shredding of the Constitution, the greatest document written by man, protect the Second Amendment, protect life from conception until death, enforce the laws against illegal immigration to protect all of Virginians, fight for Virginia's freedoms, and redress and review this liberal agenda we see coming out of Washington and also out of the General Assembly. And last but not least, to restore the winning tradition after 10 straight statewide losses. I'm the only Marine, 0311 grunt ground pounder who enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1970 when nearly everyone was running away. That's courage that I think we need. I'm the only Navy JAG commander, retired after 26 years of combined military service, active, and reserve. I was a prosecutor, a special assistant United States attorney, command services attorney. I think that's the type of integrity we need. I'm the only one who is the former chairman of the largest Republican Party city committee in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Virginia Beach. And when I was chairman, Virginia and Virginia Beach were a bastion of conservatism. In Virginia Beach, we held all of the 7 allocated General Assembly seats. We held the 21st, 82nd, 83rd, 84th, 85th House of Delegate seats. We held the 7th and 8th senatorial seats. We even held the 2nd District Congressional seat, and we did that all at the same time. Now, that's not a testament to me, but that's a testament to what I like to say on the campaign trail Republicans can be. I'm the only one who has practiced law so long, Julian, so long, 41 years. That's longer than anyone who's ever run for the office of Attorney General in Virginia's 400-year history. Yes, that's longer than every single Republican candidate right now by a lot, at least by 10 years. That's longer than the incumbent by a lot. That's longer than the incumbent's opponent on the Democratic side by a tremendous lot. That is, I think, something to speak of when you're talking about top-notch, top-level experience. We're coming out of the gate well ahead of the incumbent. That's something I think that we need. Someone who has practiced federal law, state law, Iowa law, Virginia law, military law, constitutional law, criminal law, civil law, and immigration law. No one else does that. No one else is doing that. No one else has done that running for this office. I am also the only one in this race, Julian, born on the 4th of July. And as I like to say, I grew up in the church. My grandmother who raised me kept me around the 10 Commandments, kept me around the Bible. I think it's time we get back to God. We get back to family. We get back to our faith. I think this country, this Commonwealth will be okay. We need to get our country back one Commonwealth at a time. And last but not least, I'm a father of 5 kids, married to a beautiful wife, Edith, and one of my children graduated from the United States Naval Academy. I believe in law and order, the rule of law, making sure that we get our values back, that we can believe in someone higher than ourselves. We have breathing down our throat, H.R. 1, and we have a few other things. And we need an attorney general who has spine. I have that, and that's why I'm in this race.
Hi, I'm Catherine Gilley, VHHA Director of Advocacy Engagement. They say there's an election every year in Virginia, and 2021 is no exception. In November, voters will choose Virginia's next governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, as well as district representatives for all 100 seats in the House of Delegates. Before that, though, there are party nominating contests this spring. On May 8th, Republicans will hold an unassembled convention with voting locations across the state to elect nominees for the 3 statewide offices. Participating in the process requires people to apply to be convention delegates with their local GOP unit. Delegates will cast ranked choice ballots to determine the nominees. Then 1 month later, on June 8th, voters will select Democratic nominees for statewide offices in a primary election open to all registered voters. That same day, voters from both parties will determine nominees in House of Delegates district races with intra-party contests. Visit the Virginia Department of Elections website to learn more about upcoming elections. And with those important elections on the calendar, your contribution to HOSPAC, VHHA's Political Action Committee, is more important than ever to support candidates who will work to improve healthcare in Virginia and support the critical work of hospitals and health systems. Any contribution, small or large, helps. Please visit VAHOSPAC.com to contribute. That's VAHOSPAC.com to contribute. Thanks.
As you know, the Commonwealth has made significant strides in recent years on improving healthcare access and affordability, addressing behavioral health and substance use treatment, a law ending surprise medical bills, the recent approval of a reinsurance program to lower rising health insurance premiums on Virginians that keep going up, policies and actions to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic, and more. Obviously, the Office of Attorney General is a legal office, but there are also roles for the Attorney General as it relates to healthcare policy. And so my question to you, sir, is how would you leverage the authority of that office to attempt to further advance the healthcare system in Virginia?
So I think we are probably the only party in the United States, certainly the only Republican organization that has run opposed to Obamacare, only to pass Medicaid expansion. Having said that, Virginians need, they deserve, they should have, must have good health care. And I think their elected officials, particularly their statewide elected officials, should have a position. They should have a say-so in that. I want to make sure that we have good health care for Virginians, even as Attorney General, although that's not my specific role. I have 17 distinct responsibilities. Number one on the board is upholding the Constitution. But in that, I think we can have a position, have a stance. And my stance is that we need to provide Virginians the best, not just for legal representation, not just enforcing the Constitution, but in their very lives. Whether we're talking about better jobs, better opportunities for jobs, I think they need better health care as well.
If people want to learn more about you and your candidacy, is there a website or social media accounts where you direct them?
Yeah, we're at ChuckSmith4AG.com. So that's ChuckSmith4AG.com. They can learn all about me there. Of course, my cell phone number I give out readily is 757-270-1715. They can call me. They can also call our campaign office at 757-271-6963.
Maybe you'll get some calls after people listen to this. And we should point out that the Republican process for nominating candidates for the 3 statewide offices, governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, is an upcoming May 8th unassembled convention. People who have registered as delegates can participate in that process. This will be done at voting locations around the Commonwealth, and there will be ranked choice ballots, and that's the methodology that will be used to determine Republican nominees. And then on the other side of the aisle, Democratic nominees will be determined in a June 8th primary election. So we should point that out for our listeners. And now, Chuck, to close out the podcast, here's a fun personal question that we ask all of our guests, and it's this. If you were stranded on a deserted island, what one book, one album, and one movie would you take with you to keep yourself company? We will spot you a copy of the religious text of your choice. So other than that, what are your 3 entertainment survival kit picks, Chuck?
The Constitution, the Bible, and perhaps the latest copy of the book that has been written by Roger Stone, The Making of the President, 2016.
Okay. Well, sounds like a lot of reading material. I appreciate you being with us, Chuck. And with that, that's going to bring us to the close of another episode of the Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association's Patients Come First podcast. If you like what you heard, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe so that you know when new episodes are available. We want to once again thank our guest, Chuck Smith, who is a Republican candidate for Attorney General, for joining us today. So thank you, sir.
Outstanding. Thank you again. I appreciate it, Julian. Bye-bye.